Right, so what we've got here is got to look for some fair value gaps, and to find the fair value gap, you can see down here on gold. So what you're doing is looking for that big move. We see this big move here. The price has gone from 2677 all the way up to there in 15 minutes, and the close of that bar almost at 2700. So the fair value gap is found from this area here. So the previous high of the previous bar, and then the low of the previous bar, and that gives me a bit of support. So now I'm looking for the one at the top. So the last one at the top,
I'm sorry, this might be a really noob question, but how do you draw those boxes?
right? You
Like, I
find
do
them
apologize.
from,
Probably not.
no, not at all, not at all. You find them from the previous bar when you had a big move. So we haven't had a big
Hmm.
move yet on the sell part of it. So what we need to do is wait now. So if you can see, right, let's find another one. Okay, so here's another one. So let's get the box. So right, okay, I haven't got any of my trading view stuff that I've. Where's it all gone? Yeah, so I've got fair value gaps on all of my. Let's draw a new one, because what I did earlier I was setting up with a template. So you've got a green one there, green border, green background for the bars, extend to the right, and then you're applying save as, let's say, buy zone. Okay, so then every time I put a box on there. So the way I found that box, for example, is the fact that you can see this big move up here, and then I've just the high of the previous bar and the low of the previous bar, which is there. Right, so that gives me my initial starting point. Then I'm looking for the cycles from down here up to the high, and we're coming down. And what we're doing now, we're waiting for another big move down. So we don't really get any big moves here. So there's no big move after any of these bars. So it's a waiting game really, and now there's obviously, that's not a big massive move, but it's bigger than the other moves. So for the purpose of this, is just put that in there. So I get the high of the previous bar, and then I draw that down to the low of the previous bar, which is about there. And then because it's a selling position potentially up there, then I want to be changing my colours to symbol body. Why can't I see colour? No, what am I doing? What's the bars? I don't want that. We've got midline as well, you can put on there. Background would be sort of red, and the border, let's put the border in red as well. And then save as the template, cell. Not actually cell area, but it's just a just a point. Right, so now we've got the price coming down. So now we need to sort of treat this as a level, but it actually turns into support. So that's then changing to here. See, it's the same, almost the same level as here, this gold one. So when we get back down to here, potentially that could have been a possible buy. So we're about here. We're nearly at this level here, which has already been created from before, right back there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put the volume footprint on at that point. And this is going to give me all of the orders. This is going to give me all of the orders in that particular bar, in the previous bar. So now I'm going to be looking for the orders to be dropping off. So you can see here we've got a lot of red deltas, red delta, red delta. Delta is just a difference between the buy and the sell. The white is the midpoint, the break-even point, if you like. So if the break-even point is up high, then you can see all up here. They're all, well, that was a bit lower, but that's high. That's high. What's in the middle? You can see at the top you've got a lot more sell orders, 47 here, and a lot less buy orders. So it looks like the sellers are starting to take over. Here, 109 at the top, 77. Okay, 318, 296, almost break even, about the same. Still more sellers here, even the price has come up a bit. More sellers, less buyers. More buyers than sellers here. More sellers and buyers. More sellers and buyers. And you can see a trend there. There's more sellers in the market. I mean, here there's no orders at the top, but there's 2 buys. So there's 0-0 really at the end of the day. But you can see the pressure is all here. It's all red rather against the green. Pushing it down further. You're sort of just waiting really until you get to this area here. And then as soon as you start seeing, then you could zoom in actually. Zoom into a lower time frame. Right, so let's go to the 5-minute time frame again. Just takes a minute to load to get all these numbers up. So that was that point there. Right, so that's when the sellers are running out. You can see on the 5-minute chart, they're very similar, but the 15-minute, you can actually see it's a lot clearer because when we looked a minute ago, there was a lot more sellers on the way down. And probably a lot more sellers up here, Delta. Yeah, these are all sellers. Buyers taking over there, sellers, buyers. But when you get to this area here, you're actually in that zone now, which actually should be green, because switch that to the buy zone. Okay, let's ignore that one. Right, so we're in that zone here. Now we're in the zone. We've got almost minus 66. So still more sellers in control of the market. And then we've got a 3, which is there's 3 more. Minus 72, so it's indecision. Minus 23, minus 83, minus 57. But it's not really pushing it through this level, you see. There's not. It looks like the buyers are coming back in the market. So, and then this one, we've got a 21. So suddenly we've got a 21 delta. Then we've got a 66 delta. So that could be, it depends on the strategy design, but that could be a potential buy opportunity on the close of this bar, because we've gone back in the history and looked at all of these orders where it's driven it all the way down, and then suddenly you start seeing the buyers coming in the market a bit more, and then there's more, and then the buyers start to take over, and it's all about supply and demand and buyers and sellers. So, I mean, that would have been a lovely
a strategy
trade, actually, if we've got that one.
Sorry to interrupt you, but could it be a strategy that, like, from looking at these buyers and sellers thing, it always seems to be like minimum there's 2 sellers and then 2 buyers? Like, could it not be a strategy every time that it's green in terms of buyers or sellers, just to do exactly that? And like, would that be a way to predict the market, or is that just a load of rubbish and not really a conclusion?
Not at all. Nothing's a load of rubbish when it's a question. I mean, at the end of the day, 15-minute chart is, you've got to think with time frame correlation and time frames. Always follow the big brother. The big brother is a higher time frame. So if you're trading on the 5-minute chart, then go up to the 15-minute chart at least to be able to sort of analyze it. And then if you're going in on the 1-hour chart, for example, and doing analysis on that, then you zoom into the 15-minute. But as you can see, I mean, the 30-minute, let's get the 30-minute, because that could be quite a good one, actually, because what you don't want, because if you're going to be trading on the 1 minute or the 5-minute, you're going to get so many orders, buyers, sellers, so quick. This is why you need to analyze it on the bigger time frames, because you see, go to the 30-minute there. I mean, I'm just guessing this is going to prove what I'm talking about here, but you see there's a big seller there, big delta, big difference, 428 minus. Then you've got a green one, then you've got a big red one. You've got a little green one.
My hypothesis was wrong then.
No, not at all. Not at all. Got a big sell-off there. And that's because we're on the 30-minute now, so there's a lot more sellers. You can see the difference. We're here with 2,930 or so orders, and then here you've got 3,330. So you've got a lot more sellers there, 398 more sellers in the market. You've got 139 more sellers here. You've got 25 more buyers here. But the bar has still come down. It's still a red bar. And you can see this. The average is moving now to lower. So that means that the buyers are starting to sort of take over, maybe. It's just learning about these footprint charts, really. They're really, really interesting to actually see, because that's all it is, trading at the end of the day. How many buyers, how many sellers? Who's got control? It's a fight between the bears and the bulls. Who's going to win? And, normally the buyer will win at the bottom and the seller will win at the top. You just don't know where the top is. And most of the time you don't know where the bottom is. That's the thing. Unless it's a meme token or something. And that is the key to those things. But, you've got a big sell-off here. And then you've got the buyers, and then you've got buyers. And you look at the chart pattern. It was actually, where was it? It was about there, wasn't it? So we're saying lots of sellers here on the 30-minute. And then we're in that buy zone. And then we're going back down to the 5-minute chart. And the other thing to look out for on these as well is, you see, when it's a small time frame, you haven't really got much difference between the two, because it's only 5 minutes for all those buyers and sellers to argue, sort of thing. So there's not big numbers or anything, but you ramp up the time frame and it changes. So the other thing to look at as well is the time price opportunity. Now I'm in the process of learning about this. So you can see where the close of the bar is. You can see when the value average is. And you can also see in here all these letters, and basically what it means, really, from what I can understand, is that the letters, if they're all correlated, then it's if they're red and they're all correlated, for example, there's more sellers. So you've got more sellers up here, and you can see there's more buyers come in as the colour changes and this sort of thing. But to be honest, I'm not really that au fait with this yet. I need to work it all out. But this is another one. You have another screen just over there, just to have that as backup when I use this. But I haven't used it yet, so something else. But if we go back to the original chart, the candles. So where's Bitcoin actually? Because I'm right. Okay, I might just have to just.
Surely that's short from here.
Well, it might. It's only 5 minutes, but I'm in. I mean, you can do the same sort of thing with. I mean, it's not at the all-time highs yet, so potentially. I mean, we could look at this. I mean, I'm conscious about the time. Actually, we probably need to get on with the actual project. Yeah, I'm going to have to go and just check my trades, actually.
Give me 2 minutes. I'm just lighting the fire and then I'll be here anyway.
Yep. Okay, mate. I might just... lighting the fire, eh? Lovely. Right. I'm just going to close all these trades out. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's leave the Ethereum one on. So, in terms of what I've just done then, I've just closed out about 4 positions. I've left one on Ethereum, and I'm just going to move the stop loss to break even, just so I can't lose on that one, or a bit above break even, sort of $20 or something to cover the costs. But yeah, you might be right. It might be time to short Bitcoin, Ethereum, but I don't know. I struggle with shorting it when it's going when you've got a big move like that. Normally, what goes up comes down. But the trouble is, we could start analysing this in a different way. Actually,
you have to look at multi-cycle movements. I mean, go and look at what happens at this stage of the movement in general. The trend is your friend, and the trend is up. So shorting is really short term, and it's when you see on short time frames, I'd say holding any kind of short position for any period of time is just incredibly risky when even a tweet from like Elon or someone about Bitcoin could basically just annihilate you.
Yeah, totally agree. But now I obviously wish I hadn't closed out that Bitcoin trade just then. And this is the trouble. If you close it out and then you get emotional because it carries on going up, and then you start jumping in at the wrong time. And that's when people get caught out as well. But what I've done there, I've just closed out two. Yeah, so it's about, only, one Bitcoin. You see, you can see it there, I don't know if you can see that, but tried getting in earlier to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I closed one of them out, Ethereum out, $37 profit, and I closed the next one out at minus 58 cents loss. Next one minus $7.50. Next one was minus $2. And then the Bitcoin one, which just closed out, $363 profit. Ethereum, $163 profit. Silver, $402 profit. And then $395 on another silver one. Oh, I didn't realise about the silver ones. I forgot about that.
Some nice plays there, mate.
Well, it's
some
a
nice plays.
$1,300 profit. So, and that is only by managing my risk. If I had one big loss, then it would have wiped out all of the profits, you see.
If you don't mind me asking, what sort of position size are you moving with? And what
quarter
leverage?
of a lot for silver. It was quarter of a Bitcoin, 0.25. Ethereum was a quarter of, each trade was a quarter of Ethereum. So yeah, I like to go in 0.25. If I'm going in for gold, then I normally do half a lot, which is 100 ounces. Well, it'd be 50 ounces. So they're quite large position sizes, but you know, I've been in the past when I've gone and put massive positions on. It's just pot luck at the end of the day. You either get lucky, or you get scared and you ride it out and just wait for the price to come back without stop loss. But I found the best way to trade, really, the most profitable way to trade is to scalp, like what you were talking about earlier. You know, in and out, trying to leave it. Yesterday when I was DJing, I got caught out on an Ethereum trade because I bought and now I thought, right, I'll check it when I get to this place. I'll be making pizzas, so that'll be fine. And then totally forgot about it. And when I checked it later on, I hit my stop loss. But at least I hit my stop loss and I went backwards a little bit and just gave back half of the previous day's profit. So
yeah, I had that problem yesterday. I was long in Sui, and I was in profit. I think I was up. I think like 68-70%, and then I put a stop loss of a positive 20% because I was just like, I just don't want to lose money, especially on like leverage trades. It hit my stop loss, then bounced all the way back up. By the end of the day, like a lot of those times I've woken up just liquidated. So it's better safe than sorry, to be honest.
Well, this is the thing. It's about managing the risk and making sure that you win bigger and longer, bigger trades than you lose. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin at the moment, what's going on with it? So we're looking at here. So where do you think you'd find that fair value gap on there? So we've had a big move. Let's zoom into, let's put it on the hourly.
Would it be sort of 90? Sorry, would it be about? Okay, so the top of that is there. So would it be about 97-ish?
This is the current open bar, 30-minute bar. Then we've got the next 30-minute bar. This one, this bar, or this bar.
Would it be the?
It's the one before the big move.
Oh,
so we can make it a bigger move by doing that, or look at it on our phones. That's another thing. I mean, it's a lot more scary on your phones because it's a different shape, But that's really where it is there, which is just the low of this bar and the high of the same bar. Okay, so that's the start of that possible cycle. So if we zoom in, if this is a big drop now, then we can put another rectangle from here to here. So sell zone. So we could put that there and we could wait. And trading is all about waiting. So you were right to call that just then because you called, I might short there. And you're exactly right. So now I closed out those trades. I'm in profit. I could walk away for the day now because my Ethereum trade is sitting there with $20 locked in as profits, cover costs. And that's it. It's at $123 profit at the moment, up and down, whatever. So if it goes up higher, great. If it comes down, takes my stop loss out, I'm out. I'm fine. So that's the most relaxing way to trade anyway. Little bits and pieces here and there. So now we just got to wait for this to move on Bitcoin. We'll keep an eye on that. I mean, it might carry. It's funny with Bitcoin because it might just carry on going up. We don't know, but nothing really goes up in a straight line. You know, and if it comes down, so what we're waiting for. Let's just say, for example, it comes down to. Let's just say it does something like that. So what we're looking for a buy, potentially bounce off there. And it might. Then, if it breaks this level here, this is what we're looking for next. So if it breaks the level, wherever that level is, breaks it, comes down, I mean, we could possibly short here. Well, let's just delete that. Could short there. We could short. We could buy possibly here. So it's got to wait and see what happens, really. I mean, if it carries on going up, which it might do, it might pull back, just carry on going like that. Who knows? But we can use these zones to sort of decide on what we're going to do, and we have to be patient, you know. And it'll be interesting to come back and see if this sort of thing plays out, or something similar. You see, it's pushing a bit higher now, but it hasn't broken that high yet. Okay, it's at halfway of this bar. This is the other thing as well, which is quite handy because you've got a halfway point of this particular bar. So we know the mid-range price of this bar when things changed. And we're saying these things have changed. They haven't necessarily changed yet because we haven't got the big move down. So if the bar does drop like... I'll just do a trend line again. So if the bar does come down here, and another one, say here, whatever, you know, that's it dropping. If it's a quick, then we've got the actual setup at that point. Right. Okay. Shall we crack on with the who we got on? Actually, I'm going to stop the recording now.